So I've started
Hello, Beril.
recording. Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine. Actually. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. As you know, we search about the article today and which is
Yeah.
named Distance Language Teaching with Technology. And what do you think about this article? Did you like it?
Actually, like it, it has lots of beneficial information about our like our education system as well, especially for these days. You know, uh, we are using distance education a lot more than we used to do. We started to use this distance education as an obligatory because of the pandemic. But I think with the experience and with using it a lot more, we will get used to it and we will become more sufficient about using this. And what do you think about the article?
Yes, I generally agree with you. And as you know, the new learning system has changed because of the coronavirus, so that there's no limitation actually for us to learning language or learning something because we can access to all kind of information
Yes,
thanks to our internet or um, online education application like Teams or Zoom. I found this article very beneficial for me, and it make me think that how this process is going and how all this application process was it, so that I get really um, I get really
I mean you had lots of benefits from the article, I guess, about
yes,
the topic.
yes, yes, yes,
You
actually.
know, maybe in the future we can only uh, use the distance education, not the physical one, the traditional.
Yes, yes, formal education and distance education is really different kind of thing, two things actually. But in the social life and the communication as human being, and formal education is really necessary for me, but this kind of situation like a pandemic or far away from the schools, it's really beneficial and there is so much advantages for students.
Yeah. And actually, we, in our second year, I guess, with Tuncer we
Mm-hmm.
started to use technological applications. And
Yes.
like Second Life, for example, it's a game,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
with the use of it, you can make the students more motivated and make them learn at the same time. So I think online education is not limited with using only Zoom or Teams, something
Yes,
like that, but
I
also games,
strongly agree.
but also games.
For
And,
example,
yeah, yeah, I'm
I
listening.
still remember the artificial intelligence and the others, because all these applications affected us the positive way, and they were really beneficial for our education life actually.
And
And
also, I'm
yes,
sorry.
please.
Also, firstly, they are motivating factors, which is really
Yes,
important for the education process.
yes. I still use these blogs, and
Me too,
I'm
by the
also
way.
I'm always adding something from here there because we can use this blog for our CV actually, and it's positive things.
Yes.
So
So,
there is
yeah,
technologies, tools, and learning environment.
yeah.
It's a subject from the article. What do you think about?
I actually,
Uh,
actually, I was going to talk about it, and as it says from the book,
mhm,
learning environments might be taught just like Teams or Zoom by the learners
mhm,
or the teachers, but it's not only limited with it. Like I said, you can add Web2 technologies like blog wikis. You can add video recordings or games like Second Life. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a wider, it has lots of applications and online platforms. So they are also really beneficial for education process.
Yes, I remember that I was a kid really how old are you? 8 or 10 years old. I have a game which name is Sims, and
I love that.
from there, from that game, learned so many
Yes,
vocabularies
yes,
because I
exactly.
have to learn it.
Yes, because
Because without learning vocabularies, yeah, without learning vocabularies, you cannot play the game, and you can first times, but maybe you can randomly you can play, but after that you need to expose the all vocabularies in the games and all activities in the character of the games, and so that you have to learn this kind of vocabularies from this game. And actually you have said that there are so many area from the internet for learning something, and if the internet uses by the users for positive way, it can be more efficient and beneficial for all students or all people.
yeah, like you said, for the example from The Sims, it didn't have any Turkish vocabulary
Yes.
version, so we need to learn the English vocabularies in order to play the game. So
Mm-hmm.
in this sense, games have lots of benefits, and
Yes.
also the online games. We can like, actually Second Life is an online game, right?
Yes.
It's an online, yeah. And also online games can have lots of benefits. You know, you can talk with lots of people around the world. Actually, they can be native speakers or non-native speakers. So as teachers, we can integrate this kind of technological tools or games into our education system, into our syllabus,
Yes,
actually.
I agree with
And
you also.
now we have SMC based environments,
Mm-hmm. Computer mediated
computer, yeah,
communication.
computer mediated communication. And what do you think about it?
CMC actually I provide the students mainly new learning environments, provides that students got away from the limitation and obligation, because think about the classroom environment, formal classroom environment. Students sit at desk and there's one source of book generally, and there's a now we they got have got smart boards,
Or
but yes, it's limited actually useful. But in the normal life and distance education, you have got a computer and you have limitless and um, area for the learning something, because in the formal education class you can learn a topic from one source. It's the class book and course book actually, but um, if you don't understand one topic, you can go and ask your teacher in formal education, but or you can ask your classmates. But in the internet and in the CMC, you can ask everywhere, and you can Google it. You can find another forums what you
limitless
need the
source.
information. Yes, and these my thoughts actually CMC based environment.
I agree with you. Also, I want to add something else.
Hmm.
Different from the physical classroom, the traditional classroom. In the
Mhm.
distance education, you actually have some barrier with the teacher and your classmates. But
Mhm.
with the help of SMC, it actually helps us to kind of remove these barriers, because with the help of it, you can use platforms like Zoom or Teams, and
Mhm.
while you are listening the lesson, you can also hear your teacher, see him, and simultaneously you can answer his questions, contributed to the lessons. So this
Mhm.
kind of technological devices like our phones or computers in terms of SMC based environments actually
Mhm.
helps us to kind of remove these barriers, I think.
Yes, I want to add something to your thought. For example, I have got a lot of friends from the high school or middle school, and they were really shy at the school environment and class environment, but the internet and with the help of the um, invisibility of
Yes,
internet,
actually.
they get easily ask their question and speak about the topic. This is also advantage for the use of these kind of application actually.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Some students may feel less anxious while
Yes.
they are receiving education from the online platforms. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, distance education may be lots more beneficial for them, actually.
Yes, I actually agree with you. And other issue is audiographic and video conferencing environments. What do you think about it?
They are really crucial components in terms
Mm-hmm.
of distance education, uh, because with the help of them, you can improve the engagement of the students into the
Mm-hmm.
lessons. It it kind of makes you more feel like you're in a face-to-face communication. Actually, it is the same thing I was mentioning about before,
Yes.
the SMC thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can be more collaborative with the help of audiographic and video conferencing. Actually,
Yes. Um, uh,
so we have telecollaboration actually, and
tele- yes.
by the way, I'm sorry. If do you want to add something else for
Uh,
audiographic and video?
Also, I want to ask conferences, planning the conferences actively and communication and giving the feedbacks and taking the feedbacks for important for the teachers also, and
Yeah, good.
they can fix their kind of not feeling kind of sufficient for the meetings or something. After that, they can record their self. After that, they can watch and they can give feedbacks for yourself. Actually,
Yeah, yeah, correct. They can benefit from it for improving themselves as well.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, improvement your
thank you.
their career. And
So
another.
I want to say something about telecollaboration because
Mhm,
I think it's really important.
mhm,
In the book, it says that it aims to bring together language learners in different countries in order to
mhm,
carry out collaborative projects or undertake intercultural exchange.
yes,
This
and
is really important because when you talk with people around the world,
mhm,
they can be native or non-native, it helps students to improve their digital literacy,
mhm,
their intercultural communicative competence, and also language skills. Because you know, when you are learning a language, you not only learn grammatical stuff, you need to
yes,
have knowledge about the cultural stuff as well. The cultural aspect is really important while learning a foreign
yes,
language. So
mhm,
if you talk with the people from different countries, different cities, it may be helpful for you to develop your understanding to learn another language, I
Yes.
guess.
For example, I want to give an example about it, about your thoughts. A student think that, and he is or she is not interested in the language learning, and so that he or she can get a friend from native, and he really like the friend and very curious about their culture and starting to feeling like, yes, I'm really interested in this lesson. Actually, I want to know, I want to learn this, I want to learn this too, actually. And this actually meeting new people and their culture improve their curiosity and their language. Actually, it's my thought.
Yeah, exactly. Only being curious about any other culture makes you want to learn
Mm-hmm.
another language as well.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So yeah,
And
it's really important.
mhm. What do you think about Web 2.0 tools?
Yeah, like as I said, it's really important. It's a very common web of communication, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And more recently, we are using it for our education as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we used it in our one of our lessons as well. We created a blog. We wrote our thoughts about the topics we have learned, and we not only write about them, we also discovered them with using how to use them, where to use them, or how can we make these applications or websites more beneficial for our learners and for the lessons. So
Mm-hmm.
Web 2.0 tools like blogs and wikis are really beneficial tools for the education system and also the distance education as well. And what
Yes.
do you think about it?
Even us, even for us, we use these blogs actually one semester. I
Mhm.
I remember that. We try to figure out what is this, and we
Yeah.
get curious. Oh, this application is really good. We can use this in the classroom, our student, and we also think that uh, I can use this application for this method and this method, and we get more productive. Actually,
Yeah,
our brain
made us
works.
more engaged with the lessons.
Yes, our brains learn to think differently and not kind of formal education. You can go the blackboard and write something and make repetition. After all that, we learned about something, so many things about from the blogs and wikis. And I agree with you, all of your thoughts, and blogs and wikis full of information for me, and they are very useful. Um,
Yeah, we didn't use them only for information based things.
yes,
We actually use them and we engage with the lessons. We
yes,
we we were curious about it.
hmm,
So it was a really great lesson actually. Like you said, we
yes,
still use the block
yes,
from time
and
to time.
inquiry into pedagogical issues.
Yes, another important topic.
Yes, because pedagogical information is really important for all of the teachers, all kind of all departments teachers,
Yeah,
because you're all interaction with the students, and you have to know how to react them, how to behave them, and uh, you have to know what you need to make uh, solutions and against the problems, actually.
I'm sorry,
And
this is more important in the distant learning because
yes,
you're not face to face with the student.
Yes, actually it is the most important thing actually, the distance in language teaching, because um, while you are saying something to your student badly, he or she can affect it more than you think actually, because their ages and their um, situations about adolescence, as you know, it's very affected something, even your kind of um, unimportant word
It may
for
cause
them.
serious issues for the students, for their
Yes.
future education, and even for their life, because we are not
Hmm.
only giving them lessons about
Yes.
written topics, we also
Hmm.
educate them about the life. And
Hmm.
if we act them badly,
Hmm.
this may cause really serious issues.
Problem. Yes. Also we have to know about their skills, their uh, learning kinds and learning skills actually, and we need to make our lessons according to these issues. And for example, your behaviors, your attitude changes to students age to age actually. Your behavior, your attitude different from elementary school and high school, so that pedagogical education is really important for teachers.
Yeah, because with this, I'm sorry, with this different education system,
Mm-hmm.
as teachers, we need to know about the technology, how to use it, how to
Mm-hmm.
use it effectively, but also the pedagogical issues, how to
Yeah.
act for the students in terms of becoming a digital teacher.
Mm-hmm.
We need to we need to try to make students more active participants in terms of this context, because
Yes.
it's a really different context, and so we need to develop another new skills as a teacher in terms of
Mm-hmm.
this issue.
Yes. Uh, Task design, another issue, yes.
Yes. And you can
Actually,
start with this one if you
okay, actually, task design is one of the most important things in the formal or distant education, because uh, course design actually tend to be a lengthy, detailed process involving of materials during the development stage, actually, so that management and class management and time management, all of these very important one, I think. What do you think about this task design?
I mean, with the distance education, task design also needs to be changed and arranged according to our new education system, because there are lots of materials and tools we can make use of in the learning process, and
Mm-hmm.
our task design needs to be related with this learning and teaching system. We, in order to create a effective learning environment, I guess.
Yes, I am agree with you too. And
And we have assessment of learning.
yes, assessment of learning. And actually, it is really important, because without the assessment, you cannot be sure the students learn or not learn. And so, assessment has really important place, I think. So, in this article, it's really good for the telling us the assessment of learning, why important. uh, they it was about telling from the article, they measured their oral skills and um, their punctuation, stress, and intonation from the face-to-face speaking. And it is really good something because you cannot maybe while you have got a test from um, distance education, you can choose the options randomly and you can pass the exam maybe. But while you are speaking face to face, your language knowledge appears, and your tonation, your punctuation and your stopping and stress, the vocabularies, every kind of all these things can measure by the teachers.
Yeah, because we don't have lots of experience about this new education system. I mean, I'm talking about distance language. So, I'm sorry, distance education. So maybe we don't have a really well developed assessment system because for this language learning process. But still, we can make use of lots of things while we are assessing our students, such as project-based homeworks, or we can make use of videos or text messages or something like that. I mean, yes, we with the different experiences, with gaining more information about it, I think we will be better at assessing our learners in terms of distance education.
Yes. Um, what
And
do you
last,
think about teacher
I
expert?
cannot hear you very well.
Sorry. What do you think about teacher expertise?
Okay, uh, maybe you want to start with this one.
Okay.
I
And
I don't.
as you know, projects, all of these kind of projects and measurements and all kind of learning course, I'm sorry, and encourage the students reflection on their vocabulary learning strategies through a group discussion, which were moderated by tutors over a period of and all kind of course time. And um, actually teacher expertise is really important because teacher is a quite guide at the class and the formal class, and it doesn't matter in the distance classes, and their feedbacks, their thoughts about the students' learning process. It's really important, and all students need to teachers' feedbacks, good or bad. Every teacher should do that, and with the help of these feedbacks, maybe students get higher higher um, high points of the lessons and get more being a more development person actually with the help of feedbacks, not only the lessons, also their um, individual advantages or disadvantages they can teachers they uh, give the feedbacks actually.
Yeah, I think teachers need to be more autonomous while giving lessons in online platforms.
Mm-hmm.
They try to become more digital teachers, because I'm repeating this sentences a lot, but it's a new system, it's a new platform, it's new for us, the distance education, especially in Turkey. So teachers all teachers need to be more open-minded,
Mhm.
They try to find ways to know about their students more and their needs, and they try to become more digital teachers about this kind of learning process.
Actually, uh, do you think that the same with me? But assessment of learning and teacher expertise is kind of bundled together.
Integrated.
Yes,
Yeah,
because without assess the student well or measure the
yeah,
well student, you cannot be an expertise students actually.
yeah, because you will not be able to know about their needs and their point of views in a good way without assess them
Yeah.
effectively.
Also, every each topics with the integration with these others and the other um topic. Would you?
Actually, I have some questions for you
Okay,
about.
let's
Let
go ahead.
my questions.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, the first one.
Mhm.
What is the most beneficial part of the distance teaching or learning for you? What do you like most about it?
Hmm.
The distance education.
Actually, for me, the first one is pedagogical issues because, as we say, pedagogical issues is kind of the most important thing for me. Knowing the how attitude for the students, knowing to how how solve the problems about these, and this is really important for me. And knowing the students' skills, needs, and attribute attributes. Uh, it's very beneficial as a teacher, and they have very advantages of that. And
Or
the
the
other for the other one is assessment and teacher expertise, because as you know, you cannot know the students' levels without measure it, and you need to well measure. Actually, um, you need to give the students what you gave, and you can take from them, and so that measurements will be fair for all of them, and after that you can measure them uh, fairly actually. And the other one is teacher expertise, and
actually,
uh, every every person every person needs a guide actually in their
yeah,
life or in their education
yes.
life. It doesn't matter what kind of life, but it's neat, so that expertising is really important for me.
Actually, I have a little bit different answer for this question. I want to
Mhm.
share it with you. Uh,
Okay.
I think the most beneficial part about distance education is it doesn't have any location-based limitations. I mean,
Mhm.
if you have the internet or if you have a mobile device like
Mhm.
like your phone or your laptop, you can attend the lessons from anywhere, and you can have a degree from anywhere around the world. It's a huge benefit for.
Evet. Well, you can access the informations from everywhere
Yeah,
actually. In
very.
yes,
And
yes.
also, we actually discussed about it
Mhm.
before. The Some students may feel less stressful while they are attending the lessons from online platforms. So
Mhm.
this may affect their participation positively. So this is
Mhm.
another benefit of distance education for me.
Yes.
Okay, another question.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm sorry. How can we assess students in distance learning?
Uh, there are so many kind of assessments tool actually. For example, as you sure your students will um, choose the options without any kind of help. You can make them multiple choices, and actually for the language learning, um, I'm agree with the face-to-face exams because you can understand the students learning process, how it's going on. And of course it's there's a kind of disadvantages, make kind of maybe face-to-face speaking make their stress and feeling uncomfortably, but um, closing and them how, if you know how to behave them, maybe their stress level can be decreased.
Please, yeah. And for me, as I said, we can do independent projects,
Mhm,
project-based assessments by giving a research topic maybe or problem-solving activity or
mhm,
another creative activity can be given, like a real-world problem related with the topic, or the students can prepare video presentations. It can also be beneficial for their oral skills. Or maybe we can make online discussions for the students
mhm.
for the assessment. Okay, my last question is, how can we develop learner autonomy in distance learning?
Hmm, good question.
Yeah.
uh, Maybe objectives are clearly explained so that students can feel they have ownership of the course materials, and another learners are given opportunities for self-assessment and self-evaluation. Maybe
Yeah,
if you want, I can ask some question.
okay.
Uh, okay.
Okay, I'm waiting.
As you know, both teachers and students are wondering that what really matters in distance education. What is the most important thing in distance education for you?
Let me explain it like that. So, as we know, considering we are not in a physical environment, I think the most important thing is uh, to find ways to how to re-engage students in distance learning in the digital environment, because we have more freedom in distance education, uh, but we need to improve ourselves to make use of this freedom
Mm-hmm,
effectively, because especially in Turkey, students are not used to distance learning
mm-hmm,
and this kind of platforms. So we need to find effective ways, tools, and activities to keep them motivated, and as a teacher ourselves too. So I think these are the most beneficial ones about
yes,
distance education.
yes. Thank you for answer, Beril'cim. Uh, do you believe that CMC communities are useful for learning foreign language or not useful? What do you think about it?
I think they are really useful,
Mm-hmm,
especially maybe for speaking skills, because with the help of SMC, students can both interact with their classmates and different people around the world, with native speakers or non-native speakers. So the SMC can be useful for increasing student motivation,
mm-hmm,
lowering their anxiety, and also increasing their fluency about language learning process. So we can make use of SMC tasks appropriate for students. We can create those tasks appropriate for students and integrate it with their um, syllabus.
Okay, good answer. I have a general question for you. Which environment the best for you? Formal education or distance education?
Actually,
Why?
this is hard to answer for me
Mm-hmm.
because when I think about it, distance education has lots of benefits, such as giving you flexibility, the freedom, and attending the lessons whenever you want. But I think personally, I prefer the physical environment, the formal one, because
Me too.
I don't know how exactly, but I feel more engaged with the students, with the classmates, with the teacher when I speak with them face to face, and then I discuss something about them in a real, exactly real physical environment. But
Mm-hmm.
it may be because of I'm not quite used to the online education, and I started to use the online education because of an obligatory, because of
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic, and so this may affect my judgment about this topic. So it may be changed in the future, but right now I prefer the physical environment, actually, the formal one.
Yes, actually, we can use both of them, but in the needed, actually. We can use a formal education because we are human and we are social, and we need to see some kind of friends
Interactions.
or yes, friends or teachers and actually classroom, and we need to interact our other people, and we can
Exactly.
use we can use and distance education, because there's the really beneficial and useful tools in here which we cannot learn from the formal education. That's um, my last question. Do you think that distance education provides pedagogical sufficient?
Actually, it may be and it may be not. I think at this point it's dependent on the teacher itself, teacher himself. Because if you choose to be a teacher centered and give information based education, then most probably the pedagogical information will be insufficient. But if you try to improve yourself in terms of becoming a digital teacher, try to make students active participants with the use of innovative platforms and considering their different learning styles, then I think yes, you can provide pedagogical information sufficiently. I mean, it's dependent on you as a teacher and which way do you choose to follow,
Okay,
like this.
thank you so much. It was really good for me.
Me too, thank you. So end of your questions. So actually I can sum up our discussion a little bit.
Okay, and this article actually occurred all of our living things in these days. Actually, yes, we are taking courses with online and what we are living and what the past people in living the past, how they started this kind of online education. We really it was really enlightened me because I was really wondering what is the important things online in online education, how we use the pedagogical information, how we use the our communication skills with students. I was wondering all of things and how actually all of this information from the article, it's kind of a process from past to their our present, so that It was very useful and very good for me, and discussion with you also. Yes, that's for
And
me.
for me too. So because we have the technology and it can increase or lower the quality of the education. It depends on us. There's a potential and we need to make use of this internet and the technology's potential in a good way. We always try to improve ourselves as a teacher, and we try to make how to become an effective digital teacher.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was really great to discuss with you too.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for
Welcome.
everything. So I'm stopping the recording right now.